Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips. Get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of No Waco. This is your host, Debbie. And welcome back to another episode of No Waco. I'm your host, Debbie, and today we have a very special guest here in the studio. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Kaley Caperton Higdon. I am so glad to be here today.
Whoop whoop. Well, thank you so much for being here on the beautiful 21st floor of the Alico building. I'm glad I heard this is your first time, so we're glad you're here.
I have lived here all my life, and yes, I honestly don't think I've ever been in this building.
Wow, well, welcome in. We're so glad you're here. So one of the first questions I always ask my guests on the show is, what brought you to Waco, or are you a Waco native?
I am a Waco native. I have lived here, actually was born in the Hillcrest Hospital that no longer exists. But yes, I am from here, have lived here all my life, and I love it. I'm from China Spring, so
okay, yay. So obviously now being a business owner, tell me what you're doing here in Waco.
So I grew up doing music and film, and I kind of stepped away from it for a little bit, and then couldn't decide how to come back to it without being the one on stage. So I decided that, my favorite thing is encouraging people and passing along knowledge that I have learned. And so I, kind of had been having dreams about doing this for about a year, and then woke up not long ago and was like, I've got it. I've got the formula. I got it figured out. I'm going to do it. And then the Vocal Academy of Waco was born out of that, and I'm super, super stoked.
Yeah, so tell me, what are you planning on doing with the Vocal Academy of Waco?
Okay, so the Vocal Academy of Waco is a one-year program. It's 49 weeks. 52, whatever. Anyways, we are focusing on performance and learning, all kinds of different techniques and genres, because the reality is with a music career is there's so much more than just, performing your own set. Like, you've got to know how to do radio interviews like this, and, be on film, be on screen, learn how to write music and work with all kinds of different musicians with different genres. So, it's kind of like there's a language that has to be learned, and then there's so much technique and stuff that, goes along with it. And so the more knowledge of genres and, different things, the bigger the career you're going to have, because the more options. So that's kind of what my goal is to teach, is all of those different things.
Okay, I love that. And you actually have a specific age range that you're working with as well.
So yes, I said 16 and up, mainly because I want them to be serious about it. Now, if you have a kid that's, performing and out doing stuff that's a little bit younger, I'm totally fine with that. I just, where they're able to drive and, do things on their own, as long as you're capable of that, where you can definitely give me a call and we'll talk through it for sure.
Yeah. And so what are you kind of hoping, or what's your mission behind this?
Oh, my mission statement. Hold on, let me pull that up. I gotta find it.
You're like, I gotta have it exact.
Okay. Our mission at the Vocal Academy of Waco is to prepare artists for the music industry with originality, collaboration, and knowledge specific to the path in front of them, led by those who have walked before them. And so the cool part about that is, I've spent years working on building these relationships and this career with people in Nashville. I worked there for years and had a publishing deal there and, did lots of recording and studio work. And so the cool part is what we're doing is mutually beneficial for those people and for my students. Yeah. And so, because they're always looking for new artists and, people that can come in and record or write or, there's no limit. There's so many options when it comes to having a music career. There's writing, there's performing, there's, just being in the studio. You're like, hey, I want to roll out of bed and not have to, look like a superstar every day. Like, I just want to work in the studio, so there's so much to it. And, working through all of those things in different aspects, no different than school, helps you figure out the part that you feels like home. Yeah. So that's kind of my goal is like, let's do all the things and figure out where you're comfortable and what you want to create in that.
I love that. And your story resonates with so many other people I've had on the podcast where it's like people that either grew up here or came here for school and then left for some reason, either to go get real world experiences and like get a job or go for a career, but then they end up coming back here and bringing that knowledge and that experience and really creating a melting pot here in Waco.
Absolutely, which is so cool. When I was, I think I was 18, I moved to Nashville for a short period of time and for about 6 months. And then I was like, you know what? I can go back and forth. Let's do that. Because, my home is here, my family's here, and I love that. I'm a very, I love my family and homebody. Like, I'm home in my pajamas. Like, that is my thing. And so, I wanted to do that, but I also had this career going. So I flew back and forth, had a condo up there, and spent about a week or two a month there for years and years, like over a decade. And I loved it. So I kind of had two homes. I called it the 2 T states, Tennessee and Texas. And so, that was really cool for me. I was, but the thing is, like, this is my home. And so the nice part about Waco is being halfway between Dallas and Austin, we have the traffic from both sides. So it gives us a big pool of people. And, like, as a kid, I was willing to drive to, Austin or Dallas to go find stuff like that. So it gives us such a nice, and with this, I've always called Waco the little big town. And because that's what it is. Yeah, it still has that hometown feel of, like, the community itself is so kind and loving. But, you're also, there's a lot of stuff to do here. And it's a big range. So I love that about Waco. And, it's how it is for me.
Yeah, no, I love that. And again, just like bringing that here, what do you think is what you're like looking forward to most about having this program?
I think that for me, my heart has been in music and film for years. And so, I think that for me, like my mom, so I was homeschooled growing up. I went to China Spring for a short period of time, but I was also homeschooled. And my mom actually started one of the co-ops here and stuff. So as a homeschool parent, a lot of times you find what your kid is good at and then you really lead them down that road. And for me, I loved music. I loved every part of it. So my mom put me in guitar, piano and mandolin and voice lessons. And so that was my like music period. And so I focused a lot on that. I also did some modeling and some musical theater and some film as a kid. And so grew up in that. And she was like, let's do your basic stuff that you have to do. But, this is really what you want to do. Yeah. Like when I was 5 years old, we went to a show together and I was like, hey, Mommy, I want to be up there on that stage. Aww. So, it was one of those things that like my mom saw, like, this is where we're heading. So, let's point it towards that and go. And I want to be able to do that for other people, be that support system that I had, that, not everybody else has, because most parents wouldn't know, where to start with that. And, I'm really happy to be that for other people.
Yeah, especially now that you also have a child of your own, I can imagine.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I have got 3, and they keep me very, very busy.
I said all moms everywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, that's absolutely amazing. So tell me more about the program, what days it is, how people can sign up, all the things.
So our program, again, it's a 1-year program, and we will have a 2-hour group lesson on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. And then we'll have each kid will have their own coach. We have 2 coaches, me and then Glenn Beals from Waco also, and he is just insanely talented. Like, I could sit all day and just listen to that man sing. Like, his voice is just magical. Like, I called him on the phone earlier and he cleared his throat and he was like, hello. And I was like, it's so majestic when you answer the phone. Like, I don't know how you do it, but you do. And so he'll teach on Mondays and I'll teach on Wednesdays. And so we'll split our students. And we just actually partnered also with Marie's Wine Bar downtown.
We love Marie's.
And so she was like, hey, do you think you can, provide us with some music on Tuesday nights, which is perfect because that's between the nights we teach. And she was like, every few weeks, have our kids come in and just get them on stage.
Yay.
I say kids, they're, whatever.
They're grown-ups.
Have our guys come in and get on stage, just get behind a microphone and, work on that technique. And just get comfortable on the stage with people because, you're going to play shows where some people come to sit and watch you and, that's their intent. And then you have others that are like, we just are here to drink wine and eat snacks and leave us alone. So, and as an artist and a musician, you have to be able to go, okay, nobody's paying attention to me. So you know what? I'm gonna be here for myself and enjoy this moment, soak it in, and perform still because that's part of it. Like, you're going to have some crowds that you're like, this is my night. They're paying attention to me. Like, I'm playing for them, And then there's some where you're like, you're background music, man. So you have to learn to enjoy all of those things. And so that's one thing that I'm super excited to do that with them. But we're also going to have performances all around Waco. I think, I'm looking at The Will. I've talked with them. They're so kind. And we're maybe doing some, like, a summer show there. Ooh. And hopefully one at the Waco Hippodrome.
Yes.
That's where I really am wanting to do our artist presentation, which is the end of the year show. And they'll get to really present what they've learned, who they are, like what they want to be as an artist and their sound and look specifically. So, and then also we're going to have a show at your place.
Boop, boop.
Yeah, Cultivate 712. And we're going to do some 60s, 70s, 80s.
Love that.
Like, classic rock. I love that feel. And there's so much to learn from that genre and that, decade and age of music. Because, that's when the singer-songwriter stuff, to me, really spoke loudly and clearly and was like, these are people that, want to, this is their life. And I loved that. So I learned that from my mom, was to really appreciate that era.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So that's one thing that's the first thing we're going to, really, really learn for our shows. So.
Okay, amazing. And so classes start August 17th?
Yes, August 17th.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And you're actually going to be doing some auditions this weekend.
We are. The 3rd and 4th of August. We are going to be 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Cultivate 712, and you can come in. We'll have an audition form for you to fill out, and you'll sing, and you can sing a cappella or with an instrument, whatever you want to do, and then I'll, kind of warm you up and see where your vocal range is, and then, it should be pretty easy, and we'll do callbacks within the next few days, or we may have callbacks, or we may just, we haven't figured I need to figure that out. Because now that I say it, I'm like, oh, yeah. No, we'll probably call back and say, we either need to hear you again or, or hey, you made it.
Yay.
And so, that, and sorry, there was something I was going to say, and I just went, that's what having 3 kids
does. That's what happens,
you.
yeah.
It's just that mom brain goes out the window.
That's okay. Well, with that, we can go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then we can come right back.
Perfect.
And now for a word from our sponsors.
What are we doing here, Rusty? What are we going to do?
Yep, we're doing the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast. Yeah, so we're going to go through one episode at a time. Come along for the ride with us.
Come check it out.
And give me a good like Dale Gribble quote to go out on. Wingo.
Yeah, Wingo.
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 All right. Well, join us for the King of the Hill Rewatch Podcast.
Deep in the heart of Texas, that drinks his brew and he spits his chew. Deep in the heart of Texas, the TV blares but no one cares. Deep in the heart of Texas, here we go.
Hey y'all, I'm April,
Hi, I'm Caroline.
and we have a new podcast for you. What's it called, Caroline?
Bloody Happy Hour.
It's going to be your new favorite guilty pleasure. We're going to talk about some bloody stuff, serial killers, true crime, Rapist. Why not join us? We'll have a good time.
You literally never know. I don't know what I'm going to say. Bloody Happy Hour. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And now, back to the episode.
All right, and we're back. So we're just talking about your upcoming auditions happening this weekend.
Yes, and I finally remembered what I was going to say. So auditions, if you can't make it on the August 3rd or 4th, give me a call and we can figure that out. Either, we can meet up at a different place or a different time, or you can send in a video or something like that. So we will definitely, make that work. So if those dates don't work, don't be like, oh no, I didn't make it. We're totally available. So
yes.
We can definitely do that.
Yes, it's absolutely amazing. And how can people reach out to you? What's the best way?
My phone number is 254-230-6736. So if you call me, leave your name and number because I get so many spam calls that I'm like, don't answer numbers.
I think that's how everybody is nowadays.
Yeah, even if you're afraid of that, just text me. I will definitely, I'm faster with texting. I have 3 kids, talking on the phone. You got a baby yelling in the back and, you never know what you're going to get. So,
all right, perfect. Yeah. Well, one of the questions I also love to ask when you get back from break is, what is something you would like to see more of in Waco?
Man, first of all, I love food. We can bring about, all the food.
We need all of the cuisines.
Yes, all of the food.
Okay, but serious question, Tennessee barbecue, Texas barbecue?
Okay, so, honestly, that's not a hard question. No, it's not. Texas, hands down. Tennessee has my heart, but their barbecue does not. No, Texas through and through for sure. Okay, but no, food. And then the other thing I'd love to see is just more, music events. Mm-hmm. Like I loved how they did the summer series outside. Like that's so fun. And then just, more places for people to perform and better ways of, I love that you guys are bringing, notice to that and, giving a place for people's voices to be seen and heard. I love that.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. And with that, of course, why do you think it's so important for you to be doing this in Waco right now?
To me, I think it's important because there's not really anywhere else that's doing that. I mean, I know they have like School of Rock and stuff like that in Austin and Dallas, but when you get into a big generic program, you're not getting detailed stuff. For us, we are only accepting 6 to 8 students because I want to really narrow in and focus on their individual careers and who they are and who they want to become and, what their sound is, their look, their feel, their vibe. And, I can't do that if I have a class of 50. Okay. So, for us, it's we want to keep it small and really be able to focus in on that. And there's just, you can get voice lessons somewhere. You can get, performance coaching, but it's different. We're kind of providing lessons for different things and then performance venues and other stuff and the collaboration. The more relationships you're building and, you're only branching out every single time that you're making new relationships. So we're kind of working on building all of that together.
Oh, I love that. And again, this sounds like this has been an amazing community collaborative.
I'm trying. And, I luckily have had such a good community around me growing up that, when I called on, my mom was like, you're so bad at
Hey, I got to meet your mom and dad, which they were really sweet. So
yeah, so my mom used to say, you got to ask for help. And I was like, I don't like asking for help. That's not my specialty. But, as I've gotten older, I'm like, all right, I've got to learn how to do that. Yeah. And so what was so cool is, like, my mom was totally right. I'd like to say that. But, when I called on people and was like, hey, this is something that, I'm dreaming of doing, they were like, let's go. Yay. I'm in. Let's do it. Because it's the next generation. Like, I'm in my 30s now. Like, I'm not on stage still. So, the next kid that's coming up that, wants to go do this, we got to help them out. So, I think it's cool because the community is going to come together and be like, all right, let's support that also. Yay. Like they did with me. And that's so meaningful to me. I love watching that.
Yeah, that is absolutely so amazing to get to see. Is there anybody you want to like shout out that has helped you along this journey?
Oh my goodness, there's so many.
Don't forget anybody, don't get me.
Man, I should have written this down. First, Glenn Beals for being, an amazing teacher that I've worked under and worked with and now get to work with more. Yay. I'm super excited about that. Carl Hoover for being such an
Love
amazing.
you.
He has been, such a champion for me for my whole career. As far as like making sure I'm, seen and heard, and really understanding what that means to me. That's huge. And my family, they have always been so supportive. Whether it's building me up or knocking me down, when my head gets a little too big. No, that's so important to have that. And then Aaron Konzelman, I don't know if you know him. He's amazing, incredible talent. I have gotten to watch them perform a zillion times.
Union Revival, we love you guys.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you've just so much natural talent and such a blessing to have in your life. They're wonderful people. And Linda Haskett from the Waco Children's Theater, I grew up there, and, she's just a phenomenal woman and, taught me so much about dreaming and chasing those dreams. And gosh, I'm sure there's more. Mike Stanley at Guitar Center for helping me get so much equipment. It was a dangerous thing leaving me unattended in there.
Great.
I left with like 3 instruments. It was bad. It was bad. So that's a dangerous one. But and then Marie's Wine Bar, and for you guys, you guys, providing the place that is going to be home for us to walk in, and these kids, I say kids again, my
surrounded
people,
by art,
my people,
yes,
to walk in and be like, this is just everyone here is creating. That's what God called us to do, is create something beautiful, and when we worship and give back to Him, and that's all I want to do is be able to recognize the gifts that I've been given and to give those back. And, the people that have put time into me, into my career, I thank you for everything. Also, my husband, I should have thanked him
Shout
first.
out.
I'm so sorry. My husband and my
the most
wild
important
3
one.
kids. Yeah, for sure the most important and the cutest one. I'm just saying. Sorry. But, yeah, but no, I'm really, really thankful. It's kind of one of those things that I'm like, as I sit back and say it out loud, I'm like, I have so much to be really grateful and thankful for, and I'm really excited to bring all of these things together. So thank you for everything you've done.
We're so glad to have you.
I'm so glad. I really am. I'm like, my heart is so full right now. I'm really, really thankful.
Oh, I love that. And of course, now you have to plug yourself. Where can we find you?
I do.
Find more information about you.
Yes. Oh, social media. Yes. Okay. So Facebook and Instagram, it's the Vocal Academy of Waco. And I try to keep everything updated on there. But yeah, you can reach me there. You can call 254-230-6736, or you can email me, KaleyHigdon3@gmail.com. I know it's hard to remember, so just find me on Facebook or Instagram. It's easier. But yeah, I try to
slide
you
in
can
the
message
DMs.
me on any of those. Yeah. Just slide into the DMs and I will answer you. My phone's pretty glued to my hand, as much as I don't want it to be, but
it's the millennial way.
It is.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
I tell people that all the time.
I try really hard to not, be
can't.
on my phone, but it is what it is. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. And now it's time for your soapbox moment. Is there anything else you want to share with our listeners today?
I hope that you guys are encouraged. I hope that there is a lot of inspiration that comes out of this. And if you, go out and listen to some live music, that is such a big thing for these artists that, we are supporting and working with is, go listen to them, follow them on Facebook, follow them on Instagram, share their music, because you're helping them. I know that seems so minimal and tiny, but it really, really is, because they need that. They need that support and that, outreach, and it's a big deal. So, just the support, it means. It may seem little to you, but every person counts, and it really does. It really does. So I appreciate it, and thank you again for having me.
Yes, of course.
And, I love Waco. I'm so glad I'm here.
Yes, we love you too.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Find us everywhere on all social media platforms, KNOW_Waco. Check us out at roguemedianetwork.com, and we're on YouTube under Rogue Media Network. Check out nowaco.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production. Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.